In the world of watches, there are Seikos. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, you know what? Not bad. Yeah, good. But also, there are Seikos. Woo, woo, woo. And today, we got the woo woo, and I'm excited. Let's check it out. Introducing the all-new Seiko SLA055 limited edition Save the Ocean. And as you can see, this watch is absolutely gorgeous. Borrows heavily from the SBDX001 from the year 2000. What was that watch? The iconic Marine Master, which is inspired by the 61597,000. The world's first high-beat professional dive watch back in 1967-68. Because this watch has fantastic DNA, it's ruggedly handsome. It looks like it's been chiseled out, almost jewel-like, and it's just gorgeous. If you have a keen eye, you're gonna notice there's something up with this steel. And you're gonna be absolutely correct. This alloy is Ever-brillant steel. It is a patented alloy. You can think of it like 904L stainless steel that Rolex uses, but this one a little bit better. Definitely more corrosion resistant. Seiko says 1.7 times than the most popular steel in high-end luxury watches. That is their words. Now, if we assume Seiko means 316L, that still would put this at around 48 PREN number, where 904L is 32 to 39. So think of it as 904L, but more lustrous, more whiter, more beautiful, and more corrosion resistant. All right. And in addition to having this special metal on this beautiful watch, it's hand finished. Zaratsu polished in Japan by Seiko's master watchmakers. And I think they did a good job. It's like a mirror. How do I know that? It was a nightmare to film the macros. This watch is a jewel. It just shimmers. Now, a big advancement for Seiko fans around the world is the crown system. All new. We have a 7mm, nice, big, scalloped out, grippy, easy to operate screw down crown, giving this watch 200 meters of water resistance, ISO wet tested, officially certified. So it's a pro diver. It's going to be worn by the 63rd Japan Antarctic research team, and the same team, well, not the same people, 8th team wore the 62 mask. They do marine conservation. I'm assuming they dive and they take samples. So hopefully this watch treats them well and they get a free one. Makes me want to join. Hey guys, are you hiring Antarctic research team? Let me know. This crown has a replaceable tube, which is big news for Seiko fans. You have this case that will never corrode. You're gonna have it for 300-400 years, easy. But have you ever screwed down a crown and you feel the pop when you're screwing it in? That's wear and tear. Eventually, it's gonna wear out. However, just like the Rolex Submariner, the crown tube is easily replaceable. So Seiko can do it without throwing out the case. Traditional Seikos, the crown tube is pressed in and then epoxied. So it uses extreme friction and pressure to get in there. And then epoxy to seal the deal. A lot of Seiko fans have trouble getting parts for their vintage watches. This is big news because it shows Seiko is thinking about the future. If they start using this crown tube for all their professional dive watches, all we need is a new crown tube and the watch can go on for generations. Since we have the crown tube out, let's do the date change. You can see the date at 4:30. A lot of people not fans of that. Another exciting change on this watch is the bezel. Look at that bezel. It's LX style. So you know the Seiko LX series I reviewed? Those heavy hitters? So that's what it reminds me of. It almost has like a cog, or you know at a castle where the archers fire? But that's not the important thing. The important thing is it's thinner. They made a thinner bezel. If you look at the Marine Masters or any Seiko, they usually have a thicker bezel. Now, this one is thinner, so very nice. It gives the watch excellent balance and presence on the wrist. It does feel like it's been crafted to a higher degree because of that simple change. The bezel is ceramic. It's a ding for me, but everyone loves it because it's gonna last forever and never scratch, because the case will probably last forever as well. And the markings have a beautiful ice blue color. Let's have a listen. Typical Seiko dampen feel, very smooth and buttery, and soft clicks. Now these are the measurements that I got. 42.6 in diameter, a thickness of 13.1, but that's including that double-domed sapphire crystal. It sticks out almost like a top hat on the edge, and the inner curve is more aggressive than the outer dome curve. So it creates a strange effect. I noticed it while filming. You do have drilled lugs and a lug-to-lug of 49.3. Ooh, it's a bit long here. Definitely on the bigger side, but it has that Seiko magic. It has that cushion case, beautiful high polish at the bottom there, ultra comfortable. And the big thing they did, they flattened out that wave off Kanagawa right there. Wears really nicely on the wrist. All right, so 1300, a low number, respectable number for a limited, not bad. I think that's a good number for a limited. Better than 2,000, 5,000 like they usually do. Now I am absolutely in love with this strap. It's a chocolate bar strap. So Seiko brought back the iconic chocolate bar strap, now in silicone, and they made it well defined. It's hard to film, but it just looks beautiful. Unfortunately, the keeper is not signed. I don't know why, it doesn't say Seiko, but the buckle says Seiko. There's too many tags. Now, when I was filming this watch, I noticed a couple key things. The fit and finish. Watchmaking is all about the details. This one definitely made in the Grand Seiko studio. Basically zero dust under the crystal, and much better finish than my beautiful Black Bay 58. The hands on my 58 are terrible. Looks worse than a low-end Seiko. And there's about 20 dust in here. Drives me nuts, but it's too expensive to touch. All right. This one, zero dust. Unbelievable. Now the dial, it could be pressed. Some people are saying it's pressed, but the indices pop out so much, it's hard to believe. It sticks out more than a normal Pro Specs dial. However, we do have the Pro Specs X here, and normally I don't mind the Pro Specs X, but I wish they took it off on this one. I think the SLAs shouldn't have them, and I think the SLAs should have a sign crown. Again, I'm not too big on sign crown. I don't mind it not being signed, but I think the SLA should say the word Seiko. I don't like the S. I think the S is getting a little cheesy. I like the word Seiko, like the vintage. Do I have it? I'm wearing my King Seiko. I'm not gonna, it says Seiko on it, all right? It says the word Seiko in nice small font. That's what I would prefer, all right? But we do have an icy texture to the dial. It's subtle and it's hard to see. It's extremely hard to see, but it's beautiful, and it fumes to black. It's a dark watch. Almost like a dark night watch. It's black and blue everywhere. Ice blue hash marks. The minute track is not white. In some lights, it's gonna look silver, but it's really ice blue. I wish it was a no date, but the date disappears because the watch fumes to black down there. So the date disappears. It's not a deal breaker. And I love the cardinal indices. 3, 9, and 6, big, bold, very legible, baton indices. And of course, 12, the shield, very nice. Now, the dial and hands. The hands, beautifully finished. Could they be better? Yeah, a little bit on the sides, but although Grand Seiko makes this watch, they don't go all out, okay? They go out, but they don't go all out. Still surpasses anything Tudor makes, and to be honest, Rolex as well. Man, it's a compelling option. However, the price, $4,600 USD. Yup, that's a lot. It's $100 off the SLA043 was. Of course, there is a little bit of wiggle room in Seikos, but the more limited, it's harder to get some wiggle room. But the first 2 or 3 people that flip it, you can usually save there. Then it starts to become rare, and then the price levels off or starts to go up. But then that takes like 10 years. So it's hard to give advice for this one. If you want it, get it. That's what I'm gonna say. That's just it, because there's only 1,300 of these. There's a black and gold one, and that's gonna be only 600 units. Okay, here she is on my 6.5-inch wrist. I forgot to mention it's 20, tapering down to 18. I was too excited with the all new chocolate bar strap returning, and it's really comfortable. Man, it looks great. I'm gonna show you a couple more macros of me wearing the watch from a distance, so you don't just get this one close-up shot. You get a better look at a 6.5-inch wrist. Quickly, guys, you do get this beautiful side shoe strap. Okay, it's an ISO rated strap. We've seen it before, but you get it in navy blue. Really nice to match the watch. There you can see the wave. It's so rich and dark. It's beautifully done. Man, this watch is comfortable on this, but this strap is super comfortable. I know it raises the watch 4 mils, but it's just so comfortable. Okay, let's check her out on the TimeGrapher. We do have the legendary 8L35 movement. The case is hand polished, but the movement is also hand assembled by a Grand Seiko master watchmaker. So it's unbelievable. Rhodium plated MEMS technology, fully milled. It's gonna last you as long as the case. That's how powerful and strong this movement is. Look at this. Look at these numbers. Wow. You see that amplitude of 309? The new Rolex movements can only dream of hitting that. They go down to like 220 sometimes. There's something wrong with them. Now let's do 12 down to check the positional variance. Now the problem with the 8L is they're not regulated. Well, not officially, but this one obviously is. Oh, we did get a little bit of beat error, 0.2. But look at the rate. I didn't even give it any time because I'm being tough on it, because I want to put it through its paces. Usually I sit here for 30 seconds to a minute to let the watch settle in, and then I push start and record. But look at this. Man, when you enter the luxury world, you get some nice things. And this movement is a nice thing. Good job, Seiko. Okay, guys, I have 2 night lights right now. And yep, this is basically Marine Master Lume. Very strong, deeply filled in those hour indices. Gorgeous. Man, so phenomenal. Damn, every aspect of this watch just keeps getting better. Love it. A lot of people saying this is overpriced. Well, why? It's a better watch than much more expensive watches. Is it just because it says Seiko on it? I guess that kind of makes sense. Seiko doesn't have any history or... Oh, wait a minute. They do. World's first L gasket changed the diving world. World's first titanium professional diver. The list goes on. They have pedigree. House Seiko is absolutely fundamental in watchmaking. Entering the luxury world and entering it with Seiko is absolute privilege. This watch is phenomenal. And if it had a different name, people would not bat an eye. But there's a lot of snobs out there in the watch industry. But to be honest, there's a lot of Seiko snobs too. And God bless you guys. You only watch my Seiko videos, but with a low number of 1,300, it's gonna be a little bit tough to get in around 5 years' time, I would say. So if you love it, I say just go for it. If it's out of your budget, you know what? Sell all your mid to low end Seiko divers and just grab it. It's worth the upgrade. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. What a beauty.